In the previous lesson, we saw how we can use the loft tool, or let's say loft technique, to model some of the objects that you can see here right now. And then we also use it to do some examples also for something that could be applied to jewelry, but also architecture and whatever, also other possibilities. And so we develop different type of structures that are more regular and more random. And some of these are more hard-edged, some of those are more organic, depending on if you want to apply some extra modifiers in here. But essentially, we have different possibilities to create our 3D models using different 3D modeling techniques. And then from the original model, we can change the mesh structure. And from the structure of the mesh, we can extract a wireframe, or let's say a framing, and then we can extract panels, and we can create something more visible and that we can use again as a real object in real life, whether it's big object like architecture or small object like jewelry or product. So and everything is procedural and parametric. So if I go back to the original object, which is this loft right here, and I start to take these points and I move them around, this will affect everything else that has been built on top of that original shape or 3D model. So we're going to continue in this lesson here to explore. And you can see here what I created a parametric bench or seat. And so if I change the original shape, which you can see right there, is just kind of a simple box that's going to affect the way this is built. So again, thanks to the geometry nodes, we are able to create really complex structures. Some of them are random, some of them are more precise and geometric and regular. So we're going to explore again some of the possibilities, and we're going to play again with the mesh nodes. So if you look closely here, we have dual mesh, and then subdivide mesh, merge by distance, triangulate, subdivide mesh, so the ones that we already introduced in the other video. So in some of these structures, we are using all of them. And in this one here, for example, we are using like other combination using extrude mesh and scale elements, and again, dual mesh to do some geometric procedural facade. And then you can see inside also the floors that I put to divide the building into stories. So let's start with jewelry design. So we defined a structure in the previous lesson here, and I want to reuse this pattern. Let's say I want to reuse this pattern to distribute objects on the surface. So if I just delete these two, so we're going to concentrate on these other two, you can see I created a couple of examples. This is with little cones. So let me expand the geometry nodes part, and I can explain to you how this is done. So this is the original mesh that we developed in the previous video. So let me take the group input and detach it so we can see where we are starting from. So this is the basic structure that I'm using here, and it's really simple. It's just you can see here we are using the subdivision surface, triangulate, and dual mesh. And then we have here merge by distance, which I'm not using right now. And this is the node to distribute. Let me unplug this and this so you can see. And this is also a capture attribute. Okay, so this is the basic structure that we were using also before in the previous video. Okay, I think it was this one right here. Okay, without this subdivision surface. Okay, so basically here is running into a triangulate node and then dual mesh, and it's giving me this pattern, which is displaying right now. Now, if I want to distribute onto this geometry, we already know how to do that. So if you're having problems with this, you can check the previous lessons because we explain all of this stuff. So this is the cone that I am creating right here. So it's just a geometry primitive that we can find in the nodes. And I plug this into the instance. And I put these instances on the points of this structure. So once I get the structure, I can distribute using that pattern. And let me just take this group output now and show you what's going to happen in here. So these are all the little cones that I created. So here you go. And if you don't want cones, you can use anything else. Let's say, just to show you quickly, I'm going to add a sphere. But I use the cone because the cone has a direction. So this is better for what we need to explain, which is also orienting towards a normal. Okay, so this is another option to distribute whatever shape you want. So cones is better because they have like a tip, and we can see where that tip is going. And probably one of the first thing you need to do is decrease the depth, decrease the radius, and the top radius is going to be really small because it needs to have a tip. And then I also decrease the vertices to 4, so I have like, again, little pyramids that I can distribute. And you can see they are pointing like upwards like this, which is not really handy for what we need to do. So to readjust that, we use a capture attribute, which we already talked about in another video. So I'm gonna delete this. Let's do it again. So capture attribute will let you capture whatever you want from the original geometry. And in this case, what I want to get from the original geometry is the normal. So I'm going to type normal, and I'm going to read that. Okay, so I can plug this in, and right now it's reading the normal from here. This one here, I can reuse it for whatever reason. So, and in this case, I want to use it to align the rotation here. So I'm going to take that. Let me just delete this one. So I'm going to take that normal inside this other node, which is called the align rotation to vector. So let's look for that. Align, L, align rotation to vector. And we're going to take this information in the vector here and the outputs from the rotation inside the instance on points. And we're going to distribute them, as you can see, pointing towards the outside. Again, you can change this if you want in according to your needs. Now, once you distribute the cone, you can basically distribute whatever you want. It's just a matter of changing the if you think this is too big, you can make it smaller. If you think your shape is too small, you can make it bigger and whatever. So it's just to show you how to work with this, and then you can define your own idea. So another thing I've done here is I created a little diamond with a little cylindrical shape at the bottom. So to do this, let me just delete it. I went to the edit preferences and get extensions, and here you can find extra objects, extra mesh objects. So you can install this one here from the extensions.